Good day, YouTube. Thy 13th angel, son of man, I am, walking this earth. So, thy son of man, I told somebody, come across somebody not long ago, and I go, oh, I'm the 13th angel. I took this on many years ago. They go, do you know that's a devil? As I've told you, I don't really know too much about the Bible. That story about the hitchhiker, they played the Jesus movies on to me, so I learned a little bit that way. I watched Jeff Doherty, because he knows more about the religion than me. So then, the Son of Man. I look at things a lot different because of the eyes of the 13th angel. So that Muslim man I met the other day, I was saying, and he's telling him about the Quran and these things, and it had of the Son of Man, and he was saying that Jesus is the Son of Man, and there will be no other. This is words coming from Muhammad, and it's in their scriptures. Okay, so you got one religion, Allah's religion, the Muslim people. Somebody say something else. But okay, one religion, the Muslim one. Muhammad saying that Jesus was the only Son of Man. Second religion, the Christian religion. Jesus came as the Son of Man, and he is God in their eyes. Jesus Christ, he is God. So Muslims are backing it to be true, but they say that he is the only Son of Man, but they don't say that he's God. The Christians say that he's God. So where the Muslim God is in their text is Allah, and then in the Christian text is Jesus. Now we go to the third one, what created it all, because it all come from the Hebrew Bible, it come from the Samaritan text and this text and blah blah. And they say they're still waiting for the Son of Man. Okay? They're still waiting for the Son of Man. It must have been why Jehovah came up and gave me that. See if I'd take on the name. So, as I'm still here, as I've told you about the White Room, but we won't go too much into that. But, so, first things is, I've been waiting for the last day. So I've been keeping low about a few other things that have been happening in my life. But the crown of thorns, okay? The big fire from Nostradamus church in France, that was 800 years old or something like that. They saved the crown of thorns. Who wore the crown of thorns? Well, they say the Son of Man. Well, the last day, you know how I've been saying the last day? That fire works out the last day. And as I tell you earlier, my date is the 20th of the 12th, 2021. And as I've said, that we were in the last days earlier. After the fire, now we are in the last day, okay? After they saved the crown of thorns, we are in the last day. But here on earth, that day will run for 1,000 days, okay? So work out your dates, see where it comes up from when that fire happened. Now, amazing things in that fire, you could even see a Baphomet in there. A Baphomet. Now what's that? It's that one which is half a goat and half woman and half man. So where do I see that? Oh, can I turn this? No. Okay, it's not going to let me turn. So where I'm coming from today is God is made in the image of man. We're now in the matrix of the YouTube. YouTube? The tube? As I showed you on Flat Earth Answered by the 13th Angel, and I showed you that coil of the Genesis of the mirrored image, and it's turned into a coil, like how CERN is, like a tunnel that goes around like that. The YouTube, the tube, everything's moving at a speed. I come into these concepts because for me to say that I've walked to other worlds and this world just disappears in front of me and another world disappears and things like that, like, how can this happen, Bruce? You know? So, of course, I'm in depth with this in a different sort of path of what I'm seeing. So, from the beginning of time, okay, in your book, it says, what is it? Oh, I see. God is made in the image of man. But then, in your book, it's got this God there, and he divided the darkness from the light. He divided it. Okay. Now, in the Māori myths, it was mother and father. One was above, one was below. They were together though. Tube. Now, it wasn't divided by a father God. In their myths, father and mother were pushed apart by the sun. The, S-U-N, is like the Son of Man. But in your thing, it's in your book, it's God divided black and white, divided them apart. In the Māori myth, it was the son who divided mother and father. Now, because of my story entrenched I had to figure out of Abel and Cain. If you've seen the video, you'll know why. Because you don't come across, yeah. Well, so divided Abel and Cain, the father and the son, that did get divided. That's what divided father and mother, okay? Before Baphomet, it wasn't like the way the Baphomets looked. It was father and mother communion. So they were looked as one, but they were separate. But as it's a description of the Supreme. People call it L1. I'll call it L1. So how am I saying? And the son, the son of the father and his mother divided them. Well, when Cain and Abel fought and one killed the other, that upset one of father or mother. That's what divided them. That's what divided them. In the Māori myth, the son divided them, and he said, like, he used his strength. But, okay, the division, so I'm showing you the division. I know, I need, that. So, then where are we now, after that division? That world what we're in? This looks like the world what we're in now. Gosh. I'm really cool. I put my... Okay. I don't know if you really seen that, right? It was a picture of a woman, you could just more or less see one of her eyes, and the other side of her was a snake, a serpent. Take you back to the spiritual immortal, and I'm telling you how that God with Pillar came down and had a thing with the woman and that. Well, it wasn't really like that. Cain and Abel, after the fight, mother and father argued. They divided. Okay? This is why the centre is in the future. They know this, and that's why they're waiting, because the machine's gone wrong. And after that division, mother and father separated. And when you see of the woman, she went with the snake, but they put it like that. Well, in that spiritual one, it was the reptilians. So she's joined a force with them, separated, because the God figure in the universe looks like a shooting star. A shooting star, but you don't see the black tail. So half's white and half's black. It got cut in half, in a way, because when they divided, it broke it in half. So one carried the light, one carried the dark. There were wars, there's Egyptian wars in the past between night and day. One killed the other. That was Abel and Cain. When the son killed the other one, the father and the mother separated because they argued. She didn't want to go that way and blah blah. And like, okay, just say one wanted to an eye for an eye. No, you have to kill him now because he killed his brother. An eye for an eye. The other one goes, no, there's another way. There's life after death. Then another one of a different text than an eye for an eye, of stories of my brother, the forgiveness. Pain. Forgiveness. No, we can forgive him. Let him go and see what happens. Now, because I've told you is, when Cain killed his brother and God came walking into the garden, where's Abel? Why am I his keeper? Because I've been told by God powers of words. I know exactly what that means. When he said, God didn't say anything next in your text, there's nothing else written. He didn't answer anything back. But because when Cain said that, why am I his keeper? What happened then? He became God of Abel. And this is this thing which has happened in this matrix thing, and how you've got the Baphomet, because he lost his essence then. He didn't realise what really happened, because once he became his keeper, his soul went to Abel for Abel to live again. It was the only way, because he didn't have. Because he said it, he said, well, I am his keeper, and that automatically gave him the power to give him his life again, but he had to, his soul moved over that way. So the son didn't, well, I'm not the I am anymore. I'm not as powerful as what I thought. So these fashions happen, and that's how we're in this control matrix. Okay, of the square box. Now, I've got this video, and it was so, like, how I said, children are so innocent in that, and it's my Bob Marley one, and it's when Dimitri went back down, and I found that carving in the rock from the cave, and it wasn't a full square box, because it had no lid, so it wasn't 6 sides, and that's why I feel I've been saying, a box with 3 sides, because I was looking at a picture of 3 sides, and at the top of that, in that cave, I showed you, mysteriously found it, and there were two holes. That's the eyes looking out. It's like how I see this world from the perception of, well, because I know that I've died before and I've come into these consciousness states and I see this world as a TV screen. So I know how all these things are built up into this matrix, and how I can see how things can just disappear and this and that, because, well, that's all vibrations through magnetism of sound, and the density is your vibration and a higher frequency, and that's how I got to answer what Jesus asked me, the Spirit, of, well, what is my thought? Yeah, I mean, what am I thinking holding this rock? The rock is alive. I showed the rock and said, that is my heart. I'm not even moved. There's a couple of things I had to add, but I love you all.